Hey everybody, Nick here, and today I got a little disassembly and maintenance for you on this little guy right here. Well, big guy, I suppose. This is the Liong Mah Endeavour. And it's in all titanium, and it's an interesting little knife. Part of the reason it is interesting is that it is it's not an integral, although it certainly looks like it on occasion. But the screws are only going into one side of the scale, so the other side is really, really clean, which is kind of neat. Big fan of it there. So let's go ahead and pop it open. I'm wondering whether this is T10 all around. Maybe it's T9, which would be weird. Come on. No, it's T8. All right. When you hear hoofbeats, think horses, not zebras. And indeed, T9, a little bit of a zebra. Although it's out there, certainly. Let's start off with your pivot here. And actually, if I can, I'd like to come at it from this side. There you go. I have no idea what this freaking knife is doing. Oh, interesting. So it's actually, the pivot is just a shaft in the center that has a screw coming into it from either side. Which is a little unusual. Looks like this side is maybe permanently thread locked in. I don't quite understand what's going on, but that's okay. But since the pivot is now out of play, that means the blade is hanging out freely in there. Oh, stop pin is in there, so I can't remove it. Okay, well, whatever. Just be careful because the blade is going to be acting unpredictably. Pop this out of there. Gotta be careful with this because this is going straight into the titanium on the other side here. And then just put these screws up north there. And pop that out of there. Beautiful. This knife, in the interest of full disclosure, was sent to me by Liong Mah, the designer. Okay, these screws are different. The middle and back screw are different, so I'm going to make sure and keep those separated. There we go. Good God, there's not a whole lot of room in there. You know, I like the construction of this very much. So you can see here the hidden clip screw is hanging out right under there. There's a fair amount of skeletonization in there. And then one other thing of interest is that the back spacer is integral. Like there is just one chunk of metal here, but it looks like a back spacer. Which is kind of cool. I mean, it's an interesting little motif there. Then, okay, looks like we got our bearings here. Stainless steel washers that the bearings ride against. Good God, these are gunky. Looks like somebody used WD-40 or something on them. Oy, oy, oy. All right, hopefully we can do some good here then. Because this guy does not feel as smooth as I'd like him to be. And so let's see what we can do with this action. Beautiful. Looks like ceramic bearings, which is always nice, and a ceramic detent ball, which itself is also nice. I feel like ceramic detent balls, and I think I've said this before, but ceramic detent balls make a lot of sense to me. And in fact, I've had people who've had issues with, a regular detent ball wearing off, flattening off over time, and the ceramic detent balls aren't going to do that if they're just way harder than the steel. I don't know about way harder, but they are measurably so. Not a material scientist, alas. God, my life would be a lot easier if I were a materials scientist in this. Alas, knife reviewing is a material scientist game, and I am a jackass. Alrighty, anyways, moving along. Back at the ranch. So just cleaning everything out, and there is some kind of a nasty oil in there, which I'm not in love with, and which I want to remove. And I think the knife is going to have a way better action once I do. Because honestly, Rayot knives, and that is indeed who is making this guy, I believe, Rayot knives tend to have really great actions. And this guy should be no exception. but it's not up to snuff, or at least it wasn't previously. There we go. Just kind of clear it out the inside of the pivot there, which absolutely needs a little bit of out clearing. There we go. Okay, great. Now the next step is actually going to be to go ahead and clean off my washes a little bit. I'm going to use a fresh alcohol, or fresh swabby for that, and just kind of dampen it down with some booze. I think I may have already done this, but I'm going to do it again because that oil was nasty. So I'm just running these guys back and forth on this boozy little pad here, and that's just going to kind of clean the all surfaces, the balls off there, as well as clean the bearing race, the little metal or plastic guy, which is fine. Race? Cage is the term I wanted there, like Nicholas. Alrighty. This remains a mystery to me. So if we take a look at this little guy right here, we can see that there is a gap between the spacer itself and the screw. However, that screw does not want to turn. So what I'm actually thinking may have happened here, and again, this is just a jackass talking, but what I think may have happened is that they've kind of dialed it in for the perfect distance overall, and then fixed this guy in place. And so, yeah, that's probably what's going on there. Okay, let's go ahead and lube this little guy back up. I'm going to go ahead and go a little light on the lube. I really have been trying to learn this. This is 10 weight nano oil. It's just in a little pen form, which I've been liking because it makes it easier for me to not use a ton of it. Because as some of you guys know, I may have an affinity for using a ton of lube. So again, I'll do a little tiger stripe on the other side there and call it a day. They're not saying that you need the pen or anything. And in fact, if you don't have my propensity for over-lubrication, which is not a sentence I ever thought I'd be uttering with regards to myself. Like if you talked to, third grade Nick Shabazz and said, hey, Nick, are you going to have a propensity for over-lubrication? I feel like I'd look at you with like you had three heads, because you used both the terms propensity, which I probably didn't know in third grade, as well as over-lubrication, which I don't feel like I would have had a strong opinion about at that point in time in my life. Anyways, now I'm just, going to do another couple of little oil stripes there, and then put a little bit down on here. It's funny, I'm finding a way to over-lubricate. It's like Jurassic Park, nature finds a way, except Nick Shabazz. I guess I am a natural phenomenon, right? I don't know. Okay. Lube. Okay, there is... Oh, but there are backspacer pins, which is nice to see. Whoa there. They're not just being held in place. There were backspacer pins, which is nice to see. They're not just being held in place by the screws, which provides a little bit of backup, which I will not argue with in the least, especially during disassembly and reassembly. Okay, so there's that. Both bearings are in. That's nice. I've actually put it back together backwards because no, because the side with the pivot came out of the backside anyways. So never mind. Let's go ahead and yeah, no reason not to start with the pivot. I'm gonna go ahead and use a little bit of blue Loctite on this little guy. Blue rather than the red, whatever. There we go. And I'm just going to kind of roughly tighten that up because I don't need it to be at full strength right now. Okay, now this little mat, one of the reasons I like it is that it has these little polygons up here. Trapezoids, are they? And geometry teachers judging me. Anyways, and that allows me to keep the screws in the right order they came off the knife. And so the middle screw is this little guy right here. Again, just using a little bit of your thread locker here to get everything thread locked in place. Being gentle with those because I really don't want to strip out that titanium. And again, over here, put in place. Oh God, that's smoother already. But let's tune things up, tighten things down. Yep, that's better. Okay, these back screws. Maybe need a little touch more. There we go. Oh, yeah. That's a nice action. 100%. God, that's... Yeah, there's a lot of good there. 100%. Alrighty, so there you go. That's your Liong Mah Endeavour in titanium. Hopefully this has been interesting to you. We are back together. The action is indeed better than ever after clearing that other gunk out of there. And hopefully you have yourselves an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. Bye now, everybody.